Salutations, everyone! I am Lord Forwind, and we are here with a Crusader Kings 3 guide on the Royal Courts. Which Royal Court is the best, why do you need it, and how you use them. So in order to have a Royal Court, you need to be a king, or you need to be an emperor. In order to unlock all the Royal Courts, you need to not be tribal. If you are tribal, you are limited to the Tribal Court, and you are limited on the levels of amenities you can offer in your court. So to get to Royal Court, if you have the DLC, there will be a little button here, and you'll see a reasonably graphics version of your court, complete with courtiers and stuff if you want to look them over, plus your ruler and everything else. If you have your court artifacts, make sure all your slots are full, you'll get events to fill them. But the key point is your court grandeur and your court type. So you have a variety of court types. Here is the tribal one. Now, I am a feudal ruler with a tribal court. What does that mean? It means I was a tribal ruler and I have reformed. I get to keep the tribal court unless I move away from it. As it says, if I change away from it, I will lose the tribal court. You can get it with a required ethos to maintain it. But for now, I still have it. I'm probably not going to change it. Here's what the tribal court offers you. Knight effectiveness, loot capacity, raid speed, dread gain. At level 7, you get a vassal opinion. At level 10, your men-at-arms are 25% cheaper. This is one of the reasons a tribal court is an amazingly powerful court, and I would probably rank it as the third best court type. I'm just showing you this now because it can only show it to you if I started as a tribal ruler and reformed. And you also get other events. This follows the Warlike courtier traits, so over time your courtiers will become of higher martial skill and prowess. And you manage, of course, your grandeur, which unlocks different traits by what amenities you offer. Now, each amenity offers different bonuses, as you'll see here. Stylish fashion gives you prestige and grandeur, and your courtiers and guests get prestige. Lavish food here. Stress loss, court grandeur up, but more importantly, the feast activity reduces more stress. This is really nice if you're struggling with stress problems. It does have a hidden attribute, though, that does not appear in the game, which is increases the chance your ruler gets fat. They're heavier, they're larger weight. If you boost this too high, you will be struggling with obese rulers, which has its own problems and penalties. You can overcome them, but by and large, this is the only one with a real downside. And then you've got over here, you've got your lodgings. Lodgings, you get guests, they'll stay longer. They have a chance of getting higher inspirations. So this is one, if you're doing inspirations, you want to try and boost this up as high as you can. Obviously, the cost goes up and down as you raise it. At the lowest level, since they're out of 5, there's no cost, but you get no grandeur. The highest levels, they're very expensive, but you get bonuses. The cost scales with the wealth of your realm, so don't think the numbers on my screen are accurate to what you would be seeing. Just want to make that clear. Also, Grand Lodgings reduces the stress gain, so it's less likely you will gain stress, whereas the feast helps you lose it. The final one is servants. Servants are quite interesting. They tend to involve intrigue. So if you're not having a lot of trouble with intrigue, you really don't need tons of servants. But it basically allows you to court guests better and makes it less likely someone can plot against you. In order to get to level 10, even if we were to up all of these, we would only get below 9. Which means in order to get to the rest, we require artifacts. At this point, we don't have a lot of artifacts as this ruler, which is the King of Alba. But if we were to switch to a different one, for example, the Polish Empire here, if we were to look at this guy's court, we can get the grandeur significantly higher. In fact, we can get it to the maximum of 100, of which there is an achievement. The reason is we're able to do that is due to, well, it shows you right over here what it is. Basically, we have different artifacts in our realm. In fact, we have banners and other stuff that give grandeur. In this case, we've got the Sword of God, which gives us 4 grandeur bonus. So in order to get to level 10 and get that really awesome final bonus, you need to offer good amenities, and you have to have good artifacts. You also get a variety of events that pop you up and down. Now, my advice is, each court has a expected court grandeur, which in this case is 7, right? I recommend you get above your expected grandeur. First off, it'll give you a bonus to people's opinion of you. But also, if you have a negative event and you lose grandeur, it won't put you below the expected grandeur level, which gives penalties towards your opinion with vassals, guests, and other people. Being above gives you bonuses, but they're not as bad as going negative. For example, if you're expected to have a grandeur of 10, and for some reason you end up with a grandeur of 0 due to some weird inheritance laws, your vassals are going to be looking at like a negative 20 opinion penalty of you, which could lead to revolt because your grandeur can only grow so much each month. And it is why there's a legacy that boosts grandeur change. There's a couple court positions that boost it. It's why those positions exist. So if for some reason you're below it, it will help you recover faster. Now, what are the other courts? In terms of the best courts, you probably would want administrative, tribal. I was wrong. Tribal is actually probably second or third. So administrative court, tribal court, diplomacy court, scholarly court, intrigue, and then finally warlike court. Now, you can make an argument for all these courts. This is based solely off their bonuses. So we'll start with a scholarly court, which is probably third or fourth in terms of the best court. Scholarly court inspired guests arrive more frequently, which is very useful if you want to get good inspirations, which in my case, in this game, I was looking to get legendary artifacts everywhere for the Piast achievement. Gives you better courtier guest opinion, which is pretty consistent. Monthly lifestyle change is the main benefit I find for the scholarly court. It means you get more lifestyle experience each month, which means by and large your rulers tend to be better educated and they have more bonuses from their focus. And then finally at the end, learning level per level of fame on your ruler is very good for getting technology, and on your courtiers and guests means they probably will educate better, have better, outcomes in different court positions and stuff. It also helps with your realm priests with their conversion skill, which is quite nice. Plus, over time, they'll get the scholarly courtier trait, which gives them more learning. Another one here, diplomatic, which is probably the third, is this one. Offer vassalage acceptance scaled by grandeur. This is the big bonus of these. It's why you can theoretically vassalize most of the world peacefully if you do it right. I have a video about how you can do a diplomatic without war conquest of Tibet starting as one ruler. I didn't really conquer anybody at all except people of my same size due to this alone. It's like 0.5 opinion per grandeur level. I don't know the exact number, but as it goes up at maximum, it's like an additional 20 to 30% towards vassalization, or 30 points, which can overcome difference in religion, difference in culture, mainly difference in religion. You can overcome difference in culture by promoting cultural acceptance if it's in your realm and balance it out that way. But it basically means you can rule over a more diverse kingdom and you've got a chance of getting people into your lands peacefully without having to conquer them, which you kind of have to do with all the other courts. It's very powerful. The only reason it's ranked below tribal is tribal gives you the insane men-at-arms reduction, which is late game is really powerful. And admin has other various bonuses we'll get into later. Reduced tyranny gain, which is nice if you want to be tyrannical. Council opinion up means your most powerful vassals, which should be on your council anyway, less likely to revolt. And max personal schemes, which are basically swaying people, making people like you. You can even do the seduction route type stuff. It's very useful for maintaining a realm. So if you're a large realm, this is actually a very good court to be at. So let's jump to someone that has admin, probably. We'll see what I get to first. Okay, here we are with an admin court. This is Abyssinia at the time. The admin court, I think, is probably the strongest one, literally due to one bonus, the level 7 bonus, development in realm capital 0.2 per month. This means over time, the development in your realm capital will easily surpass almost any other province in the world because the AI doesn't focus it. If you were somewhere like the Byzantines, Rome, or Paris, or someone else with a special site that encourages development, this bonus is insane. It's really nice if you're somewhere like Russia or the mountains or the desert where you don't have a ton of development and development's slow. Over 100 years, you're going to get a lot of development and catch up, which gives you more money, gives you more levies, allows your technology to spread faster. It's got a ton of bonuses. Plus, level 1, construction time, construction cost is always solid. Plus, cultural promotion acceptance is nice if you're trying to build a large, diverse culture. It's kind of odd this isn't under the diplomatic court, but I think it would be because of how strong it would be if it was under the diplomatic one. And level 10, your vassals pay you more money. This is the money court, really. Money, stability, and development. Very powerful. Requires the spiritual ethos. Be aware that each of these courts requires different ethos for you to have said court. So we'll jump around and we'll try and find probably an intrigue or warlike court. See you then. Okay, here is a warlike court. This is the Roman Empire, just in case you're wondering. That's what the Roman Empire looks like. Missing a lot of Roman lands. This has the ability to do the warlike court, which boosts your knight effectiveness, gives you your powerful vassal counselor levy bonus, plus 10, more troops, men-at-arms counter efficiency, plus 10, and allows you to have larger men-at-arms regiments. Very powerful if you're fighting wars, but by and large, you can overcome more troops and better men-at-arms and even better levies if you play well, which makes this probably the weakest court, in my opinion. It's nice having better fighters and everything, but by and large, Crusader Kings is a game about managing your relationships with people, and admin, Diplo, scholarly courts all do that better, and Tribal just has some insane bonuses, and you get the benefits of Warlike. Warlike needs a rework, but right now that's probably one of the weakest court types. I'm going to jump over to Intrigue. See you guys then. Okay, here we are back in time from my Roman Empire at the start of the game. This is the Byzantines. This is the Intrigue court. I don't like the Intrigue court personally, but I can see why you might want to use it. You have the ability to get bonus scheme secrecy, which means your schemes are less likely to be detected. Supporting schemes effectiveness of your spy master is up, again helping you play a more intrigue-based style. Increased agent acceptance, meaning you can bribe more people to support your schemes against other people. And max hostile schemes +1. Stacks nicely with the intrigue tree that gives you another one as well, so you could theoretically be running 3 hostile schemes. Again, this would help you with kidnapping, fabricating hooks, assassination, manipulation. Huge bonuses. If you're going to roleplay a tyrant and scheme like you're in Game of Thrones or something, this is kind of the court for you. It's quite amazing. I don't like it particularly, though, because it gives your courtiers plus intrigue, which means they're more likely to succeed on their schemes versus you. This just encourages more scheming at your court in general, and scheming at your court is not something you particularly want if you're a ruler. You want to be doing the scheming. You don't want your courtiers and other people scheming around you, which is why it's weak, but it gives better relationships and control than Warlike court does. So I would say it's probably above Warlike court. So again, the courts in the order I think they are right now: admin court for the development and money and cheaper building, tribal for the vassal opinion and men-at-arms cheaper, plus the martial bonuses, diplomatic for relationships, encouraging people to get vassalized, managing relationships, scholarly for education, technology research, etc., intrigue for manipulation and scheming, and warlike kind of for fighting, but it doesn't give you any massive bonuses towards it, if that makes sense. And those are the courts in the game. Another tip is when you go to hold court, first off, you should hold court periodically. Only hold court, though, if you've got money, because there's a lot of events that take money away from you in the courts. And also be aware it does cost you prestige to start holding court. A lot of events give you prestige, but it could be a negative loss of prestige and money if you're not careful. But you want to hold court when you can, because some of the bonuses you can get, like +1 development in every single province in your land, which is amazing. You can also find artifacts, manipulate people. However, and this is a big warning that I didn't find out about until it happened to me a couple times, don't hold court when you have a faction that can push its demands on you. If it does, there is a very high chance you get, as one of the petitioners, you get that person pushing the claim and can start wars or rebellions sooner. There's a chance you can diffuse it by intimidating people. So if you have no hope against the faction, by all means hold court and there's a chance. But if you can stop the faction other ways, don't hold court if you can help it. In my opinion, it's very dangerous to do. Anyway, that's the final tip I have. Hold court when you have money. Don't hold court when you have a faction that can revolt, unless you have no other option and you hope to negotiate, because it will set up a negotiation, kind of. So best of luck to you with managing your royal court. Hopefully this has helped you. It certainly was an interesting experience learning which courts were better than others when I started playing, so this should help you. Anyway, again, any questions, comments, or concerns, put them in below in the description. Go check out my other guides. I hope to see you all in another video or a Let's Play. Bye for now.